This program is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to treat, diagnose, or cure any illness. Please speak with your doctor when starting a new health program.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Talk. I'm George Batista, your host, and always your wellness advocate. Wellness Talk is a show that goes over the latest in health, healing, nutrition, and supplements. And those of you who listen to the show on a regular basis can probably say that in your sleep. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well and you're healthy. Platinum Nutritionals is the website where you can check out all the articles we go over. You can also get there, by the way, if you just type in georgebatista.com, brings you to the same place. And as always, like, share, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this information. By the way, we're on MeWe, BitChute, Rumble, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. So however you guys like to consume your podcasts, you can probably find us on any of those platforms. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as well, just a quick announcement. Those of you who listen to the show know that I promote Wellness Resources because they are the number one supplement company that I love, and I've been using them for the last 16 years. And I've had the CEO on this show. She's talked about the high-quality supplements that they have. Well, just kind of wanted to announce that they do have a new product that has just come out, and it's called a Hemp Spectrum. It's a full spectrum hemp extract. Now, those of you who know anything about hemp, you know that it has been researched the last few years for its health properties and its potential health benefits in the human body. So they have a new hemp extract. This is a brand new product, and it's organically grown and third-party tested. And it's eco-farmed, non-GMO, and non-narcotic hemp. And it's 25 milligrams of cannabinoids per capsule. So if you guys want to check that out, as always, you can go, the link is down below to the Wellness Resources website if you want to check out the hemp. But again, hemp is making a lot of news these days because they're doing more and more research on it. So I would suggest you guys check that out because you guys know that Wellness Resources is as high quality as you can get. All right, so a few things that we're going to do this week. First of all, we're going to talk about compounds in cucumber that are found to improve memory and prevent Alzheimer's disease. And this is by Rose Liddell from foods.news. And this is new research on cucumber. Now, when I was a kid, I used to eat a lot of cucumber. My mom used to slice it up for me, and I would take a little salt, and I would just put a pinch of salt on it, and literally I would have a bowl of them, and I would eat them as a snack while I was watching TV. And I didn't know at the time. I just thought it was really, really good because they're very hydrating. But I didn't know at the time that I was eating an actual superfood, a really, really good food. But again, they found a compound in cucumber. They're being tested as far as its ability to prevent Alzheimer's disease. So this is great information on that. Then we're going to talk about researchers find a link between longevity and brisk walking. And this is by Grace Olson. So this is more of our fitness segment. I've always talked about walking as at least something you can do if you're not going to do anything with whether it's strength training or marathon running or going to the gym or whatever. Walking is a fantastic thing. Well, they have found a link to people who are actually the pace that they walk at is actually linked to how long they live. So again, new science on this. Then we're going to talk about, could mushrooms be the key to improving immunity? And we all need that these days. And they actually talk about COVID in this article because they are doing some major research on mushrooms, immunity, and COVID. So this is, again, brand new research, and this is looking promising. Then I'm going to do something on this show that I haven't done before since I've been doing this show. And I'm going to recommend a book. And this is a book that has helped me. And you guys know that, I recommend things that I feel have helped me in my life. And I think that would help you. And again, we try to empower you with this show. So, you can take this information that I provide and, see if it works for you. And if it does, great. You can apply it to your life or someone in your household, friends, loved ones, that type of thing. But if it doesn't help you, then that's fine. Just put it aside, or maybe someone else can, be helped by it. That's why I always suggest, if it's not something of value to you, maybe you can share it, with someone else in your family or someone that could use this information. But anyway, I'm going to recommend a book that has really, really helped me and changed a lot of aspects of my life. And it's a book you can apply to all aspects of life, but I'm obviously going to talk about it, how it applies to health. But I think you guys will get a lot out of it. And then finally, I'm going to play a clip, like a 2-minute clip of a comedian who was one of my favorite comedians, one of the best comedians of all time, in my opinion. But he had an interesting take on things as far as health and immunity. And he's one of those guys that really, really got it. So I'm just going to play a clip that I thought was interesting. And this is years ago. This gentleman is no longer around, but just years ago, how he felt about immunity. And he just had an interesting take on it. And again, like I said, he's one of those guys that really got it. So I think that's going to be really, really interesting. So anyway, that's on tap for today. And by the way, just a separate thing, you guys, some of you may know that I do upload my shows to YouTube as well. It's not in video form, but you can still listen to it on there. But I did do an interview with Dr. Thomas Levy about vitamin C 2 weeks ago, and it was on YouTube for a while, and it was taken off apparently. And there was a strike put against my YouTube channel because of it, because apparently YouTube doesn't like the fact that we're talking about vitamin C and we're talking about his book Rapid Virus Recovery. So those of you who were on YouTube looking for that interview can go on to BitChute or Rumble. You will find that interview there, or if you listen to an audio, again, you could still hear it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Google Podcasts and all those types of things. So it's still there, but obviously, not on YouTube, because you know how that goes. All right, so let's get started with our articles today. First, a compound in cucumber found to improve memory and prevent Alzheimer's disease. And this is from Rose Liddell, food.news. Now, what they found is they've done this animal studies, and they found that this compound can help boost memory and even prevent the signs of Alzheimer's disease. Now, this compound is called Physitin, and Physitin is found in cucumbers as well as strawberries. Those are probably the top two that have the greatest amount, but it's a flavanol that can also be found in other plant-based foods as well. Now, why is this important? Because, first of all, cucumbers are considered a superfood, okay? But they also have a lot of essential, vitamins and minerals. So an 11-ounce cucumber is probably 300 grams. Now, this is unpeeled raw cucumber, and it contains 11 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of fiber, 2 grams of protein, no fat, and then it contains 62% of the vitamin K, 14% of vitamin C, 13% of potassium, and 12% of manganese, and 10% of magnesium. And this is obviously the recommended daily allowance. So cucumber is a great superfood to have. Now, according to the study that was conducted from the Salk Institute for Biological Studies, they observed mice that were genetically inclined to develop symptoms of Alzheimer's, including memory loss. And they found that giving the animals a daily dose of the flavanol Physitin helped to slow and even prevent memory loss and other cognitive impairments. Now, the researchers also reported that there was an improvement in cognitive function despite the continued formation of amyloid plaques. Now, that's interesting there, because the amyloid plaques had continued to form, but even with that going on, there was still an improvement. And that's something you don't see in a lot of these studies, because a lot of studies are designed just to stop whatever is happening. But this was actually continuing to happen. and there was still an improvement. So imagine if you even stop the amyloid plaques from happening in the first place. I think that's even going to be more beneficial. Now, the researchers believe that Physitin improves memory by turning on a cellular pathway linked to the retrieval of memories. So that's really, really cool stuff. So I think that's very important. So my suggestion would be to make sure you get your cucumbers. Again, when I was a kid, I used to have them all the time, but I still have them today. I tend to put them in my salads. I actually have a garden in the back, and we grow cucumbers as well. We grow some really nice big ones, and we chop them up and we make them a normal part of our salad. So, it's something that you could do if you have the space. I would suggest growing cucumbers. It's pretty easy. I mean, I live up in the north, and we grow them with no issue. So, very important. Check it out. Next, research finds a link between longevity and brisk walking. And this is by Grace Olson, and this is out of Natural News. Now, it's interesting when I've worked with people, and we talk about fitness, obviously. A lot of people always give excuses. Well, I don't live near a gym, or it's too expensive to be part of a gym, or I don't have gym equipment in my house. And, they give you all these excuses. So I always say, listen, can you walk? Most of them can walk, right? So I say, can you walk? And they say, yeah. And I say, well, then put on your headphones and walk around your house. If you have a yard, walk in your yard. If you want to see scenery, walk down, whether you're in Manhattan or wherever it is, you can walk down streets. Obviously I wouldn't recommend walking in an unsafe area or at night, but I mean, at a time where there's people around, or maybe during the day, or walk with some friends or that type of thing. But walking is one of the easiest things you can do to maintain your health. So, this was research conducted from the National Institute of Health and Research from Leicester Biomedical Research Center. And this was published in the Mayo Clinic Proceedings. Now, this was a study. They found a link between the speed that you walk, how briskly you walk, and the length of time that you live. Now, what's interesting is that even after considering weight, the researchers found that those who walked faster had longer lives, while slow walkers had shorter life expectancy. Right? So the researchers analyzed data from 474,919 people, which is a lot of people, by the way, whose information was collected through the UK Biobank. And the average age of the people was about 52 years old. And this is what they found in their study. The life expectancy of the fast walkers. So, for example, the women, their life expectancy was about 86.7 to 87 years. The men, it was 85 to 86 years. Now, the life expectancy of the slow walkers, the women was 72.4 years and the men was 64.8 years. Now, that's a huge difference. You're talking about literally 10 to 12 year difference between slow walkers and age walkers. I would say, if it was a thing where it was maybe a couple of years here and there, they probably wouldn't make that big of a deal of it. But the fact that it was over 10 years, you think about it. It's in fast women, women who walk fast, it's 86 to 87 years, and women who walk slow, it's 72.4. That's really, really significant, okay? And most surprisingly, the ratio held true across all weight levels, so including those that were underweight and severely overweight. So the researchers found that the category with the shortest life expectancy was underweight individuals who walked slowly, right? Amazing stuff. So what does that mean? It means that the findings reveal that the physical fitness of a person is a better indicator of health than even their weight. Okay, so again, even if you're overweight, you can walk, all right? Because this is showing that physical fitness is even, and again, I there are people who are heavier who could still be more fit, right? Who could still get fit if they wanted to. Some people can get fit faster than they can lose weight, but I think losing weight is going to happen anyway. But it's just amazing that when they adjust it for all that, it really shows that the physical fitness makes that much of a difference. Now, they do cite in here, some things to keep in mind when you are walking or brisk walking, right? Keep your head up and look forward. Relax your neck, your shoulders, and your back. Swing your arms freely with a slight bend to your elbows. Tighten your stomach muscles slightly and keep your back straight. Don't stomp. Just smoothly roll your weight from heel to toe. And by the way, there are a lot of clubs, especially in the city, in New York City. I'm sure in other cities too, there are walking and running clubs that people do. I've seen walking clubs where they do a nice brisk pace and they all get together, and they've even done race walking and marathons and those types of things, right? Short marathons, half marathons. So, if you're alone, I would say get friends together to do it, or join a club. If you could find a club in your area to go walking, that's a fantastic thing to do. But this is great information. This combined with obviously a lot of other factors will make a difference in helping you live longer. Next, we're going to talk about mushrooms. And this is, could mushrooms be the key to improving immunity? And this is from Mercola.com. Now, mushrooms have long been valued for their medicinal properties, but they're being studied now to see if they can boost immunity and fight viruses, including SARS-CoV-2. Now, mushrooms have been known for a long time to have antiviral and anti-inflammatory effects. There's been many, many studies on them. There was a study in University of Oslo Hospital where they found therapeutic effects against COVID-19, okay, especially when it came to the severe lung infection that follows the actual infection itself, okay, the lung inflammation that follows the infection. They have found inflammatory effects of people with inflammatory bowel disease, okay. So now they're doing 3 studies, and this is one of these is out of the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine, and they're taking 3 types of mushrooms, and they're seeing how they do against people who have tested positive for COVID. So one of the studies, the first one is running from December 2020 to December 2022, and they're testing certain types of mushrooms, including turkey-tailed mushroom in capsule form. The second one is studying a Chinese herbal formula of mushrooms. This is running from July 2021 to December 2022. And again, it's studying a specific type of mushroom, and it's used which has been used for remedy for COVID-19 in China. Okay, and the third one is a mushroom-based natural product that they can see that enhances immune response. And what they're trying to see if this is how much it enhances your immune response when you have actually gotten the COVID-19 vaccination. Now, this trial is evaluating whether a capsule of medicinal mushrooms given at the time of a COVID-19 injection can increase antibodies. I love the fact that they're doing this, okay? Because again, you're not going to hear this anywhere, but at least people are doing these types of things. Because remember, I mean, this whole business of just getting vaccinated and not exploring anything else regarding COVID is absolutely insane, right? What's that whole definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And obviously the results have not been good, right? So again, mushrooms can play a part in this too. And they do have mushrooms or mushroom extracts in capsule form, because even Wellness Resources has those as well. So, but mushrooms contain all different types of antiviral and polysaccharides that have antiviral and immunomodulatory effects. And in mice, by the way, it was found many mushrooms were found to work as well as the drug Tamiflu against pandemic influenza virus. Okay, so that's great news. Now, mushrooms contain also things like lectins, proteins, polysaccharides, and terpenoids. While there are more than 400 bioactive compounds in reishi mushrooms alone. Think about that, 400 bioactive compounds. So mushrooms are fantastic thing to take in. Again, Wellness Resources does have a product that does have mushroom extract in it, so I will definitely check that out because it will help boost immunity along with all the other things that you could be taking. Now, some of the properties that they have seen in mushrooms over the years have been anti-tumor, antioxidant, cardiovascular benefits, antiviral, antibacterial, antiparasitic, antifungal, detoxification, okay, and even anti-diabetic. So there's a lot of reasons to have mushroom in your diet, or at least to have mushroom extract in your diet. So I would suggest checking it out because it's only going to strengthen your immunity. And by the way, mushrooms do help with digestive immunity as well. Because remember, we got 70 to 80% of our immune system is in our digestive tract. And mushrooms have been known, again, to be anti-inflammatory, bring down inflammation in your digestive tract. So another thing to keep in mind when we're talking about this business of improving immunity, it's just another tool to have in the toolbox. All right, next. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do something here that I've really never done on this show. And that is I'm going to recommend a book. And this is a book that has helped me. I read it many years ago, but I still use its principles to this day. And I think it can help a lot of you if you've never read this book or you don't know anything about it. So the book is called The Slight Edge: Secret to a Successful Life. And this is by a gentleman named Jeff Olson. Now, just a little bit of background on Jeff Olson. Jeff Olson is a master direct sales entrepreneur. He is a master marketer. He's one of those guys that, I know he's a head of a huge company that manufactures all kinds of skin supplements and things like that. He's a CEO, but he's one of those guys that many companies, many marketing companies and direct sales companies have brought in so he can help them and completely change the sales culture and bring that company to major, major success. And he's done that with many, many companies. He's literally one of those guys that you'll bring him in. He brings in his way of doing direct sales, and he just completely explodes the company. And like I said, he's done it many, many times with many different companies. So this guy knows what he's doing. So, he's definitely a guy, and he lectures around the world. I've been to his lectures as well. But anyway, he wrote this book called The Slight Edge. And the reason why it's important is this, okay? The slight edge, it's not rocket science, really. It's not rocket science, but this is one of those things that you think is common sense, but people just don't practice it. Okay. And it is the basic concept is that if you do things every single day towards your goal and you keep doing them at a consistent pace, eventually you will get to your goal. Okay. Eventually you will. So this is what he says, and this is one of his quotes, and I have this quote permanently lodged in my head, and that's why I can say it. But he talks about the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. So this is what he says. Successful people do the little things that seem to make no difference at all in the act of doing them, and they just do them over and over and over again until the compounded effect kicks in, and then they get what they want. Again, I'm going to say that again. Okay, successful people do the little things that seem to make no difference at all in the act of doing them, and they just do them over and over and over until the compounded effect kicks in, and then they get what they want. It's really a profound statement. Okay, but what he's saying is that those successful people do those things even when they don't feel like doing them. They do those things every single day. Now, you can equate this to anything. Right? This could be in health. This could be in money. This could be in your relationships. This could be, you name it. You can apply this principle to everything. Now, he applies it in this book. He applies it to direct sales, but he also talks about health. He also talks about money. He does brush on a lot of different topics, but that's why, even though he's in direct sales, it's not a sales book. It's basically more of an inspirational book that has inspirational principles. So, and why am I telling you this? Because I've worked with so many people, and a lot of these people that I've worked with, many of these people that I've worked with, I tell them, this is, okay, let's get started. This is what you're going to do. You're going to start slow. You're going to take out one bad food or bad whatever it is every week. And then you're going to replace it with something healthier. We're starting slow, okay? You're going to get a bottle of supplements. You're going to take that multivitamin every single day. You are going to do 10 minutes of exercise if they've never exercised every single day. What is the exercise? Whatever it is. They're going to walk every day, or they're going to, ride their bike every day, or whatever it is. And one of the things I've gotten from certain people I've worked with, is they'll start it for a little while, and then all of a sudden they found something. They read something online, and they go, oh, that's a new thing. What about this ketogenic diet? Oh, what about this vegan diet? Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I just found this new diet plan that's great. I think I should try it. Hey, I found this gym. I'm going to go to this gym, and I'm going to spend money on this gym. And I'm going, and I'm sitting there, and I'm going, no. What you need to do is start slow. Start this, start that, and start doing these things. And then they start again. And then they go for a little while, and then they find something else. Oh, this is what I'm going to do. And it's a constant cycle, and they never get anywhere because there's no consistency. Okay? When I was dealing with my health issues, and I realized that doctors couldn't help me, I had to take it upon myself. So this is what I did. I said, you know what? I'm going to take my supplement every single day. I'm going to change my way of eating, and I'm going to be conscious of my eating every single day. And my back was killing me. I had really back problems. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try this foundation training, and I'm going to do it for 15 minutes every day. And that's what I did. And the funny thing is that I really didn't think about it. I just did it. I just said, you know what? I'm going to do this every single day, over and over and over and over again. Okay? And the more I did it, the better I started to feel. My back started to feel better. My stomach started to feel better. My energy started to feel better. Little by little, things were going away. But the funny thing is that I didn't really pay attention to it until I realized it was gone, right? I didn't realize it until I realized it, right? So all of a sudden I turn around, I go, holy cow, I've been doing this for 6 months. My back is no longer hurting. My stomach feels better. Whatever it was. And things just started to get better and better and better. But what did I do? I did those little things that seemed to make no difference at all in the act of doing them, and I did it over and over and over again. That's exactly what he tells you to do in the book. And basically what he does is he talks about two people, right? Let's say you have two people who want to lose weight, okay? They're both heavy. Now, you have one person that eats garbage on one day, and you have the other person that eats good food on the same day, and you track them both, okay? You're not going to notice a difference in them in the first day. You're not going to notice a difference in the first week. You may not notice a difference in the first 2 or 3 weeks if they're both consistently doing what they're doing. But once you start to hit the month period, for example, one has probably started to lose 3-4 pounds, and the other one may have gained a few pounds. Then you get to 6 months. One has started to lose 7-10 pounds, maybe more. The other one may have gained 2 or 3 pounds. Why don't we get to a year? Once you get to a year, then you're going to notice the difference between both, right? Okay? So when they first started, you didn't notice a difference. But then when you get to a year out, there's a major difference. One may have lost 20 pounds, and one may have gained 5 or 10 pounds. Okay? So again, two people you won't notice a difference between them until you start to get separation as far as time goes. That's what makes the difference. It's kind of like the 401k, right? 401k. What did if you have whatever retirement plan you want to talk about, you're putting money into it every week. Let's say you get paid every week. Money's going into every week. Let's say you don't even look at it. You don't look at it. It's every week. You're putting money. All of a sudden, a couple of years later, you look into your 401k and you go, holy cow, I have X amount of money. I didn't realize I had that much money in there. Why? Because you did it every week like clockwork. And again, you can apply this to anything, but health works this way. So I suggest, okay, and again, you can definitely pick up the book because I don't do it justice, but when you read the book, you will realize a light bulb will go off. Successful people do the little things that make no difference at all in the act of doing them, and they do them over and over and over until the compounded effect kicks in, and then they finally get what they want. That's what this book is about. So, everybody check out this book. Again, it's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. You can find this book pretty much wherever you get your books, whether it's Amazon or wherever you like to get your books. It's still out there. I think it's on his third or fourth edition at this point because he adds some really great information and he updates it. But they even have it in audio form. So check this out because I think it'll help you in your life. And again, you can apply it to anything. But if you use these concepts in every area of your life and you have the patience to do it, because remember, what he's saying, it's not overnight success. It's not. You do the same boring things every day. And sometimes it can get boring, yes, okay? But you follow it. You follow it and you get boring. Here's another thing, by the way, that I used this for. It was when many of you know that I was a professional musician for a long time, right? How did I become a great drummer? I practiced every single day and got 1% better every day. So use these principles to get better every day, okay? You get 1% better, 1% better, 1% better, 1% better. By the time it's a year, you're completely better than you were a year ago. And you're going to turn around, you're going to go, wow, made a big difference, okay? People don't realize the power in compounding interest, for example. Okay, you can call it compounding interest, but people don't realize that power in a compounded life. So, just something I think you guys should check out. I think it'll be really inspirational to you, and it's definitely worth a read. All right, last thing, I'm just going to play a little clip of one of my favorite comedians. This is George Carlin. He, those of you who may or may not know him, he was a very, very famous comedian in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s. He passed away a few years ago, but he had a very, very successful career. And he was one of those guys. He was political, but he did a lot of his act was about things that are going on today, but he made you look at life differently. And sometimes he made you look at things where you were like, wow, that's so, that a light bulb goes off and that it actually does make sense. Why, So, and he made fun of life. He made fun of people. He made fun of life. Of course, he would never be able to exist today. But anyway, he did a really awesome piece on immunity and health and how his view of health. And then I had to get the clean version of this. So again, it's about 2 minutes, but I just think you guys would get a kick out of it. It's pretty funny, but it's also very, very interesting how he looks at it. Just one of those things to make you think. All right. So check this out.
Let me tell you a true story about immunization, okay? When I was a little boy in New York City in the 1940s, we swam in the Hudson River, and it was filled with raw sewage, okay? We swam in raw sewage, to cool off. And at that time, the big fear was polio. Thousands of kids died from polio every year. But you know something? In my neighborhood, no one ever got polio. No one ever. You know why? Because we swam in raw sewage. It strengthened our immune systems. The polio never had a prayer. We were tempered in raw. So personally, I never take any special precautions against germs. I don't shy away from people who sneeze and cough. I don't wipe off the telephone. I don't cover the toilet seat. And if I drop food on the floor, I pick it up and eat it. I eat it. Yes, I do. Even if I'm at a sidewalk cafe in Calcutta, the poor section, on New Year's morning during a soccer riot. And you know something? In spite of all that so-called risky behavior, I never get infections. I don't get them. I don't get colds. I don't get flu. I don't get headaches. I don't get upset stomachs. And you know why? Because I got a good, strong immune system, and it gets a lot of practice. My immune system is equipped with the biological equivalent of fully automatic military assault rifles with night vision and laser scopes. And we have recently acquired phosphorus grenades, cluster bombs, and anti-personnel fragmentation mines. So, when my white blood cells are on patrol, reconnoitering my bloodstream, seeking out strangers and other undesirables, if they see any suspicious-looking germs of any kind, they don't around. They whip out the weapons, they wax, and deposit the unlucky fellow directly into my colon. Into my colon. There's no nonsense. There's no Miranda warning. There's none of that 3 strikes and you're out. First defense, bam, into the colon you go.
So that was a guy who really just got it, you know, and just some things to think about in terms of just what's going on these days. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me this week. Hope you guys stay healthy and wealthy. And as always, take control of your health. Have a great day.